Hello, D-Gens! Let's ride! Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofect one, AJ, here with some interesting breaking news coming out of the NFL today. Per Ian Rappaport coming out of here this morning firing. Ian Rappaport saying, sources the Broncos and quarterback Russell Wilson agreed to a 5-year, $245 million deal, extension, with $165 million guaranteed. This was 5 months of negotiation. That started around the time of league meetings. All quiet. Now, deal. Russell Wilson getting paid by the Broncos. This is on top of the 2 years still left on his contract. So for the next 7 years, he will be looking to be a Bronco and to continue to ride with Broncos Country. Wow. Shout out, Russell. Congrats on getting the bag, bro. Honestly, seriously, I mean, $165 million guaranteed, $245 million extension for, a quarterback that is supposed to take this ready-to-go Super Bowl team to the promised land. Everyone has been saying for years now, God, if only the Broncos had a quarterback, if only the Broncos have a quarterback. Well, here you go. You got one. Got one for another 7 years. And obviously, an extension like this was coming. I honestly thought it was going to be after this season when the contract was going to be up and he had one more year left on the deal. And considering, the Seahawks traded 3 players, including Drew Lock and Noah Fant, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks for the guy. You got to lock him in. You got to lock him down. And I think Russ taking a pretty friendly deal. He had the ability to go in there and say, like, hey, I'm Russell freaking Wilson. Let's ride. I want $245 million guaranteed. You're the richest owner in football now. Yeah, that's right. Walmart bought Broncos. So they got money to spend. They can put a shit ton of money in escrow, but only the $165 million guaranteed. I bet you it's some kind of an opt-out clause in there as well, in case Russell does get older and gets tired of the game and wants to go spend time with Sierra. Wilson did say he wanted to play in his 40s. This would give him the opportunity to get as close to that as possible and reevaluate before maybe signing another contract to get him there. Now, obviously, with this move and everything, the big thing is the Broncos need to win a Super Bowl. That's the big thing here. And we saw them do something like this with Peyton Manning back in the day when Peyton was cut from the Colts due to a neck injury. They couldn't have him on the roster. Then he goes to the Broncos. They have a rough season, and they come back and win the Super Bowl the next year. And I think that's why the Broncos are the eighth lowest odds in Super Bowls for future bets at plus 1,600. Number 8 behind all the teams that you would expect them to be behind when it comes to the Super Bowl. And honest to God, looking at their depth chart, I want to sit here for a second because looking at their depth chart, I'm not really seeing that offense. Your tight end is Albert Okuwab. I'm not even going to try. I'm sorry about that one. But your wide receivers are Javonte Williams and Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton had a decent season last year. And I guess the hard thing with this team is you don't really know how they'll look. You really don't because they played with bad quarterbacks. Drew Lock. Shout out Drew Lock. He went to Seattle and lost that starting job to Geno Smith of all people. And so obviously he's not the guy, and he wasn't the guy. But looking at this offense, I don't see offense that's ready to roll. I don't. I see Jerry Jeudy, who's a hell of a talent. KJ Hamler's okay. Like I said, Courtland Sutton's fine. Javonte Williams at running back will be decent. Melvin Gordon III probably should be starting. I don't know. I think it's a lot more than just Russell Wilson coming in to Broncos Nation and riding to a Super Bowl. I think this team needs a little bit of an overhaul. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and get a Devontae. You need to get a Tyreek or something like that. It would sure as hell help. It would surely help. OBJ's still on the market. Might as well look at that. Because I think they're going to need more weapons. And I think Russ, especially when he made that Super Bowl run with Seattle, had a really good run game and solid wide receivers he could count on. Of course, until they're at the goal line and decide to throw the ball instead of giving it to the most dominant running back we've seen in years. Broncos Country, I think you're in a bad spot here. That's my take on this. I think you're in a bad spot here. I think the Russell Wilson deal had to get done, and I think it's a great deal for Russell. But I don't know if it's as team-friendly for the Broncos. I'm not saying Russell Wilson should have came in here and taken a Brady in New England type of deal. But 245 with that type of a roster, again, unless he's seeing something I'm not. And you never know. But maybe he has spent too much time under center, a fake center running plays. We've seen him run imaginary plays and break huddles and everything. The guy's a little bit crazy, but that's what makes him great. And let me tell you, Russ, when you get on the field with the other 11 guys, I hope they play like they do in your imagination when you're running those plays. I really do, because I think the Broncos are going to come out to a slow start. I think they are going to be the weakest team in the AFC West, and they sure as hell are not riding to a Super Bowl this year. So if you took them at plus 1,600, I would do whatever I can to get out of that bet before the season starts and it's locked in. Yeah. I'm not hating on Russell. You know, I'm a Cardinals fan. We had to play against Seattle twice a year, every year. We had to go to the 12s. We had to be through that. I have major respect for Russell Wilson, what he's accomplished and what he's been able to do. But at the end of the day, he ain't Tom Brady. He is not that type of a player to come in and make an organization all around better. Should the Broncos have signed him? Yes. 5 years? That's a long time. That's 7 years locked up with this quarterback. And he is a franchise guy. He's proven he can be a franchise guy. I don't think he's got it left in him. I don't. Unless we see a nice, rejuvenation this season from Russell, I don't know how much is left in the tank. I don't. Let me know what you think. I want to hear everyone's thoughts. Let me know what you think about the Russell Wilson extension. Drop it in the comments down below or tweet us at DGenTakes. And if you do want to check out our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and hey, even buy dope merch like this and help support the show, hit that link tree down below. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Help us fight that YouTube algorithm and continue to grow the channel. We are growing every day. Be a part of DGen Nation. With that being said, I've been the Brofect One AJ. We'll see what the Broncos do this year, and we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.